At its core, DayZ is a game that is based on encounters with other players. Yes, there's PvP, but some of the most important interactions happen early on in your adventure, closer to the spawn towns. These interactions are essential, and knowing how to maximize the value in every one can be a huge influence on your long-term survival. Whether you want to find friends, trade, or betray and rob whoever you encounter, using examples from Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power to aid you in your DayZ interaction opportunities will drastically change how you experience and handle these situations. Here are 10 laws from that book that I think will really help you out in common DayZ interactions. 1. Plan ahead and see beyond the moment. Before you take any sort of action in any situation, think of a few possible outcomes. Does this person I want to kill have friends around? Do they have a hidden weapon? Are they a better fighter than me? Could they provide something beneficial if I keep them around? All of these plus more are questions you should be asking and thinking about when approaching another player. Never go straight up into a situation throwing fists or blazing out bullets. Approach with patience and a calm manner. See beyond the moment and plan accordingly with what you observe over the course of your encounter. 2. Appeal to their self-interests. As a DayZ survivor yourself, you probably know what kind of items would make another player happy. Offer some ammo, some small portions of food, or a tool to help out the other player. This type of offer will play on their heartstrings and likely allow them to at least tolerate you for a little bit and gain some trust. Do with this what you will, but make sure you take care of how they feel in a positive manner, and that will put them in a vulnerable position for you to either rob them blind or develop a potential friendship. 3. Selective honesty. In an interaction, other players are usually skeptical of your presence and might ask you some questions about what you're up to. Sometimes the best way to answer these questions is to use selective honesty. Tell the truth when they least expect it out of you, and you will throw them off. Let's say, for example, they ask if you kill somebody nearby. And whether you did or not, it's good to answer honestly, or inject a little bit of a lie within something that's half of a truth. For example, the other player asks, "Hey, I saw a dead body over by the well. Did you kill them?" You can respond with a, "Yeah, that was me, but he was spurting around at me with a baseball bat, so I had to take him out in self-defense." Whether this was actually the case or not, the other player will likely believe your story, as long as it's believable. Solely because you admitted to killing another player when confronted about a dead body. Most others would deflect the question or flat out deny it. And even if they're telling the truth, other players are going to be skeptical when it comes to murder. Selective honesty turns out to be a great way of approaching conversation and building rapport with other players. 4. Powerful silence. Sometimes being quiet and more reserved is a much better option than being loud and obnoxious. Personally, people that never stop talking are a bit of a deal breaker for me, and their noisy tendencies are not ideal for future PvP encounters or for sneaking around towns to loot. So, I like to keep quiet and selectively speak when I'm asked a question, or if I have something meaningful to provide. Speaking at every single opportunity comes off as either desperate or like you're trying to be a distraction. The more you speak, the higher the chances are that you can tick someone off with a bad joke or an annoying comment. This rule especially comes into play if you're at a disadvantage versus the other players. If they have weapons and you don't, or something like that. Silence has spared my life in many situations where I was vulnerable and easy to take down. So keep that in mind. 5. Trust from a distance. I like to think that 9 out of 10 players that you come across in DayZ are after the same as you. Loot. What this means is, they'll do whatever they can to snag that shotgun off your back, or even for your shiny new pair of hiking boots. So, whenever you come across a new player, and you two start talking, always keep a fair amount of space between you, and always keep them in front of your line of sight. That one moment you let them sneak behind you could be fatal. No matter how nice they seem, always be prepared for the worst. I really liked one quote from the book that came from Friedrich Nietzsche. I think I'm saying that right, probably not, but it says, "There are 2 different types of people in the world. Those who want to know and those who want to believe." And this same philosophy goes in a game like DayZ. Promising something to another player may just entice them to stick with you. I'd use the promise of a loot stash or a potential freshbone killer that we should take down together in order to play on this need to believe or wanting to know something. And, believe it or not, most times it works. With this, I can either lure this person into a trap or buy myself some time to get to know the other person and bond with them a little bit, which then allows us to become friends, whether I was telling the truth or not. 7. Conceal your intentions. Whether you want to be friendly and make friends or hold up someone and rob them, never be 100% upfront with them. Always wait and feel out the situation before making a move. If you're looking for a friend and you run up and ask people if they want to team up right off the bat, they might be suspicious. A lot of times it feels like a trap, or it's just a weird, desperate attempt to lure someone somewhere else where they don't want to be. Instead, focus on conversation. Offer some food or supplies, and if they appear to be interested in sticking around, then pitch the idea of a team up later on. On the other hand, trying to ambush and rob someone straight away usually doesn't go as planned. Most other players will simply just run away and make things difficult and not cooperate. Instead, try interacting with them at first, coming across as friendly, just some guy who wants a buddy to loot with for the moment, and wait for the perfect opportunity to strike when they're pinned at a house or a garage or fighting zombies. You can easily hold them up if their guard is let down and you have them in a closed environment. Either way, keep your cards to your chest and never reveal what you're really up to until the time is right. Rushing things increases your risk and chance of failure in most situations. 8. Be unpredictable. By being unpredictable, you can give yourself a clear advantage in almost every situation. In circumstances that you decide you want to rob or murder your companion, never do it at a predictable point of interest, like a well, or by following their every single move. Take your time, help them out a bit, pose as a friend, and strike when they least expect it. Lots of times when I'm in the situation, I'll set up my betrayal by helping my friend with zombie killing several times. And then when they aren't expecting it, I turn on them while they're fighting Zeds. It's dark, it's cruel, but it's also DayZ. Be unpredictable. 9. Let others do the work for you. In DayZ, there are just some things you can't do all on your own, and you'll need some help. Whether it be looting a town or taking down a freshie killer in the spawn area, you can always recruit others to help you out. Whether that means you truly team up with them or you backstab them in the end when the job is done is up to you. But just keep in mind what they might be thinking when they see all that juicy gear that they could have for themselves. 10. Crush your enemy totally. If you decide you want to rob or kill the other players you encounter, make sure to crush them entirely. Don't leave anything behind that they could use to come back for you. Weapons, ammo, even melee items should be hidden or disposed of, if not taken by you for personal use. If you even go as far to leave your victim alive, I like to take their shoes so that they can't trail me without potentially sustaining a cut, which then could lead to a wound infection, or at the very least they have to stop to bandage. Little details like this will save your life and allow you to run off and progress elsewhere, escaping the situation and the interaction safely. I hope you find that these 10 laws of power from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power are beneficial and applicable to your interactions with others in DayZ. No matter how you use them, whether for good or for evil, I think they will make your gameplay a little more interesting and save you from getting yourself killed more often than you think. Let me know what you think about these in the comments, or if you have other texts or videos you'd like me to take a look at and apply them to DayZ. Before I end the video, I want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel if you found this video to be even the slightest bit entertaining or informative. It's free, it's always undoable, and it really helps me out, and I'd really appreciate it if you did. But that's it for this time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.